Hey, hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager, here for our June monthly update. And although it's not quite summer, it certainly feels like it outside today. It's nice and warm, 80 plus degrees, humidity in the air, weather that I really enjoy. Not so much in a jacket and tie, but weather that I enjoy nonetheless throughout the summer, being able to get outside and not being cold. So I hope all of you will get outside and move around, take care during the extreme temperatures, but do get outside and enjoy the nice weather that we're experiencing. Trash in our community continues to be an issue for us from the city standpoint. We would always encourage the businesses and residents in our community to do their part to clean up around their area or just beyond it if you're able, to make Goldsboro look the best it can look. We have also implemented through our planning department and adopt a city street program similar to the Department of Transportation's Adopt a Highway program. Some differences are our program is a 1 mile stretch meant to be sort of a thoroughfare type street such as Elm or Harding Drive, or areas like that that are a lot of through traffic, not just neighborhood streets. But we'll put a sign up with your group name or your individual name or your business name, but the commitment on your end is to pick up that 1 mile stretch of street 8 times a year. And our real hope is you do it during the times that people are more active outside and litter is more of a problem. So again, if you have an interest in that, our planning department is administering in that. You can call our planning department or you can call my office to get more questions or get to the planning department. My office number 580-4330. Again, my office number 580-4330. In addition to the Adopt a City Street program, we do use community service workers on a regular basis to pick up trash within the community. So if you see areas in need, please don't hesitate to call me. And we've also included in our next year's budget some additional money to hire part-time staff to supplement the community service workers that we receive, trying to make the community look the best it can. So again, if we all working together to make Goldsboro better and litter-free, I think we'll be much more successful than just the city or just our citizens trying to do it on their own. A lot of changes coming in our base leadership, so I want to say thank you to Colonel Schenkenberg and Colonel Slocum with the 4th Fighter Wing and the 916th Air Refueling Wing. We'll say our farewells to them in June and July, and then we'll welcome their replacements. And there's a lot of other base leadership changing. We'll just say we have really developed a lot of friends. We really appreciate all the time and effort and energy they put not only into their job as in protecting our country, but into supporting Goldsboro and Wayne County community. And we look forward to welcoming the new leadership in the coming months. And again, the city will certainly do all we can to welcome all new airmen, including base leadership, right on down to the E1 level in terms of coming to Goldsboro and Wayne County. So please don't hesitate to call on us if there's a question you have about joining this community. City Council approved their FY 16-17 budget June 6th, so that is good news for city staff in terms of preparing the budget and working through that. It's just over $58 million, and our budget year begins July 1st and runs through June 30th, so we've projected what our needs are for the next year. A big part of the budget, again, are salaries and benefit, the people to do the job. Of that $58 million, almost $28 million is people. And then another $8 million is debt service. And so as you break it down, there really is not as much money available in there for other activities as you would expect. But some highlights of our budget this year: our City Council's goals have been to improve public safety, so we have a significant investment in vehicles, both in police and fire and technology, appearance of the community, quality of life, and preparing for future growth, which is going on a lot of our infrastructure side of streets and water sewer lines and capacity in our wastewater plants. Just some highlights of our budget, and again, any questions you have, I would be delighted to talk with you. Our tax rate of 65 cents will remain the same, so there is no property tax increase within our general property tax rate or our municipal service district tax rate or our occupancy, so no increases in those, and our solid waste fee is not changing as well. There is a slight increase in our water and sewer rates. It's about a 2.5% on water and a 1% on sewer. Cost on residential rates cost the average residential customer about 60 cents. Again, 60 cents or less than $1 a month. as we go forward into the next fiscal year. We do have a business registration fee for businesses within the city limits that would be $20 for an annual business registration fee. We have a vehicle licensing tax that probably will impact us as residents and businesses all the most, of $10 per vehicle. That generates an extra $270,000 for the city. That $270,000 has put, or the commitment has been to add on to what we were doing in street resurfacing or street construction in previous years. So with that said, we were doing $500,000 of street resurfacing last year. We will do $500,000 in our current or proposed budget, plus another $270,000 is allocated towards construction of a dirt street, which has been a goal of our new council. So more to come on which streets would be resurfaced and which dirt street would be built, but that is included in the budget in terms of a new fee and new revenue, and that revenue is going back into the streets. Our number of authorized positions will be increasing by 7. So again, we're going from 442 authorized positions to 448. Some of those were authorized during the fiscal year. The additional position is construction inspector and engineering, a senior park technician, a systems integrity system or systems integrity technicians, both within public works for distributions and our collection system. And then we have also approved an assistant utility director. Employees with the City of Goldsboro will receive a 1% cost of living adjustment in July 2006, a 1% compression adjustment as determined for those with 5+ years of service in July of 2016, and then we have an average merit increase of 1%, meaning we'll break that out to some range, but a 1% average merit increase effective January 2017. So again, that is at least the summary of the budget. If you have other questions, it does have improvements throughout our facilities in terms of parks and buildings and replacement of some of our equipment, as well as other items that we use for maintenance of our utility systems and public works areas. So if you have questions on that, please don't hesitate to call me. City Council will approve the budget with some conditions, and again, they wanted to talk about a gym/dental membership for our employees, and so no action will be taken on that until after the council makes a decision, and I believe they'll debate that or discuss that at their June 27th meeting, as well as moving some of our grant money for facade and business incentive grants in our downtown district. They had 40,000 or approximately 40,000 budgeted. The council wanted to hold off on 30,000 of that until further discussion. And then also we had an excavator to be purchased, and the council member wanted us to hold off on that purchase until we were able to talk more about the efficient use of money, and is that the best way in terms of buying almost a $200,000 piece of equipment that will replace an older piece. But again, just wanted to reassure our council and make them comfortable with that purchase, and then some further discussion on our merit increases and how we would implement those in this coming January. So budget is approved, good news for us. Some things to still work through, minor parts of that, but if you have questions, again, please don't hesitate to call my office. Do want to mention we hold a new employee orientation 4 times a year. So this past orientation was in early June. I had probably 10 employees, and I will tell you, it was an exciting group of employees. They were happy to be employed with the City of Goldsboro, really excited to be here. Some of them have been here a couple of weeks, some of them have been here a couple of months, but I do want to welcome them to our team and our staff, and again, I hope they'll maintain that enthusiasm throughout their career with the City of Goldsboro. We've continued with the Star Award, again having money from an outside source to reward our employees. We're doing it $500 per award, or splitting up that $500 if there are multiple recipients. Our May recipients that were presented in June went to firefighter Brandon Jones for his efforts in sponsoring a Christmas for All to help a family have a great Christmas. And again, a little delayed in terms of when we're recognizing that, but I do want to thank firefighter Jones for his effort there and trying to encourage his co-workers to help sponsor others in our community that are not as fortunate. And then the next award went to our public works crew and was shared amongst a number of members who responded to fix a water main break that occurred on a cold March Saturday. Again, Saturday, March 12th, water line breaking around 9 p.m. Not unusual for that to happen when it gets colder in the evening. They worked until 6 o'clock a.m. Sunday morning to fix that, and although that is part of their job and we paid them to be there, they came back in as we expected. They worked through the night as we expected, but we wanted to say thank you for that job. That is really, hate to say above and beyond, but that is tough. Not everybody's thinking of that when they're coming to work for the City of Goldsboro, that hey, I may be in here at 2 or 3 in the morning on a regular basis fixing some part of our infrastructure so our citizens still have service. And just want the community to know and recognize that we do have employees that I believe go above and beyond. And that crew consisted of James Roach, Junior Taylor, Preston Faison, Brandon Battle, Antonio Vaughn, and Mike Reed. I want to say congratulations to those that received that award, and again, thank you for your service to the community. The police chief gave a brief update to our city council at their June 6th meeting, and just thought I would share some of his items with you. We've talked about replacing our canines, and again, we have ordered those last fall. We do have 4 canine units available. They're fully staffed. We had been down with the other dogs aging out and retiring, so we're excited to have that unit back up to having canines available as needed throughout the city. Promotions are completed. We promoted 4 of our employees from police officers to investigators or corporals. That process has been completed. We have a vice unit with some reorganization that is now fully staffed, and still some future changes coming within the organization, but it is fully staffed for the first time in a while. Our investigations unit is fully staffed for the first time in a while. We're creating a gang suppression unit to do more validating and staying aware of gang activity within the community. And then we're working on building our emergency response team, or SWAT team, utilizing existing officers, but in the coming months working through, so we have that team available should a situation arise in Goldsboro, Wayne County, that we should need them. We're still 16 plus short in the police department in terms of police officers or in other areas within the department. We do have 6 new officers that are working through the process, so I hope to reduce that number. The chief hopes to reduce that number very soon, and again, we'll continue in an effort to do that. We also, with council direction, created a BLET scholarship program. We are accepting applications now. You can do it through the community college or the city human resources department. It is a paid scholarship and stipend, meaning we would pay for you to go to BLET at any accredited community college. Our hope would be you choose Wayne Community, but that's up to $5,000 we would pay towards getting through the BLET program, and then we would pay you a $5,000 stipend, and for the fall semester at Wayne Community, that's a 5-month time frame. We would pay $1,000 a month, but the maximum on the stipend and the grant and the tuition assistance is $5,000 each, or $10,000 total. So, excuse me, we are accepting applications. We want to have 2 applicants in the August class. I think the deadline is mid-July to apply. So please, if you're interested, you've got to be a Goldsboro resident, you need to have lived here a year, and you have to meet the other qualifications to be a law enforcement officer, the most significant of which being 20 years old, and then also being having a fairly good background. So from that standpoint, please don't hesitate to contact our office, or my office, or HR, or the community college with more information about the BLET scholarship for the city of Goldsboro. A couple other things our police chief shared. He is interested in starting a Citizens Police Academy this fall. Really an opportunity for you to come and spend 8 or 10 weeks with the police department, a couple hours a week, learning more about how each of their processes work. This will be our first attempt at the Citizen Police Academy, and it will complement our School of Government that is a broader view of local government and city work in particular. This will focus on the police department, and I think we'll be taking applications very soon, but starting this fall. So again, I hope you'll look forward and be interested in being part of that. We've talked over the years about CALEA certification. Again, the council heard it a year and a half ago. We will follow up with our new councils. We have some new members to make sure they're still interested in that process, but they have expressed an interest, at least individually, to that. And I wanted to wait till we had a permanent police chief on board. We've had Mike West there now for a few months. He's had a lot of issues to work through, but the CALEA certification process is one of those that we want to make sure we either get started or make a conscious decision not to. But he and I both are supportive of the process. We think it adds value to us, but it does come at a cost. There has to be somebody that does the work to maintain that certification. So those are things we'll discuss with the council in the coming months. We did order 14 new vehicles, police patrol vehicles this fiscal year. They're all at least delivered to the city of Goldsboro. They come as a plain white vehicle. These are all Dodge Chargers. We then send them out to have graphics and the equipment, light bars and computers and other things put on the vehicles. That is occurring as we speak, and so you ought to start seeing new vehicles on the road over the next 2 months. Every couple of weeks we ought to have 1 or 2 more out in there. And I know our officers are excited about that. Certainly I, as the manager, and our council are anxious to have those vehicles out and in service as well. And then we have other technology coming online soon that we're evaluating and we're implementing, and again, all really work to make the community safer and better for all of us that live here. I do want to mention the Community Fun Day, really I say the brainchild or the idea of our sheriff and police chief Mike West. We've been working with a group of churches, our staff, and we held our first one this past Saturday, June 4th at Day Circle. We had approximately 300 in attendance. It was really a good event from our standpoint. The feedback thus far has been very good, but our hope is to continue to build that police-community relation in a lot of different ways, and so that being one of those ways, and again, more to come on that. If you have an interest in trying to work on police-community relations in your neighborhood, please don't hesitate to give us a call. My office, 580-4330, or the police chief, and we'll work through that with you. A couple project updates. Our golf course, we did move the golf course pro shop into the Goldsboro Event Center. So again, they are now at 1501 South Slocum Street. If you go out to the Eden Street address, we are going to be tearing down that building. Our golf course operations and pro shop have moved into the Event Center. We're still working on the evaluation of the old W.A. Foster Center. I hope to have some information back to council at late June, and then we'll meet further with community groups that expressed an interest in us or working with them to save that property, whether they own it and maintain it, operate it, or some other version of that. But we will have that information, I hope, toward the end of June. We do have a New Hope multi-use path under construction, almost $1 million worth of work to extend the multi-use path from the church at Hare Road on towards Wayne Memorial Drive. It will make it to the site that's our 6-acre site owned by the city, adjacent to where the county commissioners are building the Maxwell Regional Agricultural Convention Center. And again, while that convention center project is a county project, the city is heavily involved in terms of donating the property, providing some of our tourism funding, and then in terms of the discussion of aesthetics in the building and operation, the county has been very good to involve city officials in that. And so that project ought to break ground this summer. Very excited to have that ongoing as well. City Council has authorized the beginnings of discussion to replace the Herman Park Center. So we've got authorized funding for the study of that, which will involve community members in terms of what you would like to see in a new Herman Park Center. That project is not fully funded yet, so I don't have probably the $10 million it takes to replace it yet, but we do have the study beginning, and that is the initial phase of the project to figure out what you want and what that would cost. So with that, I think I'll close for the day. I'll remember there are a lot of activities in the community. If you're looking for something, there's something for you here. Our Center Street Jams are occurring every other Thursday in downtown, and if you haven't been downtown in a while, I would encourage you to come visit it. Things are changing, and they are for the better in our downtown. Parks and Recreation has an excellent brochure, probably 30 plus pages of activities through the summer from adults activities. And again, I just participated in our volleyball activity that ran over a 3 or 4 week period. We happened to be the champ, the city team, or at least the team that I was on, that consisted of a couple city employees and then a couple of younger people to move around for us. But again, a lot of fun, very short seasons on some of these activities, but I would encourage you, young or old, to look. We've got a lot of great camps, from fishing camps to golf and tennis camps to adventure camps to just summer camp, but they are all a very good value for what you have to pay for that. And again, I think you'll enjoy that. So with all of that said, if we can be of service, please don't hesitate to reach out. We always look forward to working with you, and thank you.